Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk about carpentry, why it's important, and how I use it to construct these buildings. Okay, so we're going to come inside the cob house here and I'll show you the different wood components. So even before you step inside, we have several pieces of carpentry wood components. We have this door frame, and if you kind of whip around inside here, you'll see we have the rough door frame box here. We've got different wood shims that make up for the screen door here. And then you'll also see here the door frame anchors that are embedded into the cob wall. So there's a lot even involved with a door, and windows are similar. So as far as wood, when it comes to a cob building, there's less wood involved. But we do have a lot of wood involved with the roof here. If you look up and see the roof, you can see all the rafters, the ridge beam. We also have the top plate, which sits on top of the bond beam. That's pretty much the integration point between your cob wall and your roof. So there's a lot of wood involved, and again, with windows, you have all the framing involved. And but we also, if you can see these over here, we have these small wood components here. These actually hold the bottom of the threaded rods. These threaded rods actually go up through the cob wall. Those are metal, but the little wood pieces are embedded. And then you can also embed wood into the cob wall like this. If you know you're going to hang something heavy, let's just say a TV or a heavy cabinet, you can embed pieces of wood into the cob wall, so you know that can hold a lot of weight. So let's go take a look at the outside. Okay, so now we're on the outside of the cob structure, and you'll see different areas where you need carpentry. Starting down at the foundation, you're going to need carpentry skills to make your foundation forms. It's really basic carpentry, but you do need the carpentry skills. Now the cob walls, there's two ways to do cob walls. There's hand sculpted cob, and there's what's called shuttered cob or form built cob. This was built using forms. So again, if you want to build the forms, very basic carpentry skills, but you do need to have those skills to build your forms. Now again, up at the roof, and you can see out here I've put nice fascia boards on the roof. There's all the roof structuring underneath. You'll see the rafters and the rough fascia board. In this case, I've got this mesh system, so air can flow through the roof and the ceiling, but not let bugs in. All this stuff takes your basic carpentry skills and your basic carpentry tool sets. Okay, now on the straw clay house. So again, this is straw clay. This is different than cob. This has high insulation, whereas the cob has high thermal mass. So this structure is built differently. As you'll see, it's framed up. So this is a framed building. There's no framing inside the cob walls like with the straw clay walls. So this has a lot more wood in it. So you need more carpentry skills for this kind of structure. Again, starting at the foundation, you need your carpentry to set up your concrete forms. And then once you get to this point, you're going to start your wood framing. And then frame up your whole structure. And then on top of that, you frame up your roof. So then you have your basic structure, and there's a lot of carpentry components involved with the detailing work. For example, all the window trim. This is really easy stuff to do, but again, requires your carpentry. For example, you have your soffit trim. If you want to make a nice wood soffit covering, you have all the finish fascia boards on the roof, etc. Not to mention like a windowsill. Again, this is in this case is concrete, so I made a wooden form to pour the concrete in and make this concrete windowsill. So yeah, there's all kinds of uses for carpentry, pretty much for every component. You can learn more about all these different components in my video course or at one of my workshops. But before we finish up this video, I want to show you the rammed earth and the carpentry required for that. Okay, so the third structure here is the rammed earth wall. So this is just a rammed earth wall for my outdoor shower. You can do a whole house with this type of method as well if you want. There's a lot of stuff underground in this foundation that you don't see. Again, just like with the other two structures, you need your basic carpentry skills to make your footer forms. All the brickwork in this case doesn't require carpentry, but once you get to the rammed earth section, this whole entire piece was made inside of a big massive wooden form. So with rammed earth, you make basically a box and you put the material inside that box and compress it inside. And with rammed earth, they have to be extra strong boxes basically, because there's a lot of pressure that you're putting inside that box. So basically I made a huge box, put all the material in here, and then removed all the forming, and this is what you have at the end. So this requires a little bit more expert level carpentry skill. Really easy to learn, and just a note, if you want to learn carpentry skills, just explore YouTube. I learned it just on my own, watching YouTube, doing small projects. Trial and error is involved, but it's something you can learn easily. You don't need a huge tool set either. A skill saw, an impact driver, maybe a jigsaw. Alright guys, so if you want to learn how to put all this stuff together and build a house of your own, then I do have my online classes and my in-person workshops here on the land. So I've got 2 classes coming up in September and October, and it's a really good time. It's a really good deal. It's a 5-day class. We cover everything from foundations all the way up to the roofing and every little detail you might need. So think about coming out, and I hope to meet more of you there soon. Thanks.